Hey, it's Ron from MyHeroDesign.com. I want to thank you for picking up PicAnimate through our link. It means a lot, and so we're going to try to help you get the most out of this software. We had this up earlier, and I'm going to hide the crop container here. What I want to show you here is that we added one more animation point here, which just made the head go forwards and backwards a little bit better. Alright, so you can see how that is moving much better. And then what we did was, you can see at the top, there's a little movement here at the very top of this. So what we did was we cropped it. We can take this down a bit. And now play it. And you'll see now you don't see any of that, and it's a smooth animation. So that's a little tip. And the next thing I want to show you guys, you can see how well this is animating now. It almost looks like a video. It's a very smooth animation going on, and we've basically transformed a static image into a video or animated GIF. What I want to show you now is when I export this, export to, you notice I went all the way down, like the default is 30 frames per second. If you're making a video, yeah, maybe you want that, but it really, for this kind of subtle animation, it might depend on the image, but I've found that even going down to 10 frames per second will save you a lot of file size when you're exporting to a GIF. And I also want to point out that you should also take advantage of the fact that you can resize this. So you've got your proportions saved here, the constrained proportions, but a lot of times you might not need anything wider than 500. And every time you lower this value, you're going to save a decent amount of size on your file, because you don't want to have a 10 megabyte GIF file. You want to have it around 2 to 4 megabytes, I would say, is a sweet spot there. So here you have your GIF. Bring it down to 10 and export it and see how it looks. I have this very file exported to 10 frames, and you can see if I open it up in the browser, it looks fine. You're not missing those extra frames in there. It's still a very smooth animation. Alright, so I want to make sure that you guys understand that you can take that frame count way down, and then make sure you get a size that you need and nothing larger than that. Also, when you're doing a GIF, you don't need to have anything longer than the initial loop. So if this animation is 2 seconds long, when you export it, you keep it at 2 seconds. You don't need to bring it up. Keep it at 2, and that'll give you the smallest file size. When you're creating an MP4, then you can go ahead and loop it in multiples of 2 here, as long as you want it to play. And it's not necessary, but in something like Facebook, you might want to have it play maybe a few times before it automatically loops. Even if you just do the bare minimum in Facebook, it should loop. Maybe you want to bring it to 4 seconds instead of 2, for example. And again, you can change your dimensions here, and that basically covers our additional tips for when you export these files, and also the little things we did to hone this animation a little bit. And you can manipulate this more if you want. So every time you put in a new point, like we can push this elbow in a little bit, and we can see how that looks. And you see it's just more, and it has like kind of a downward thing. All of these are very subtle things, but I can do something pretty significant here just so you can see that all of a sudden, it gets a little ridiculous. But if you do everything kind of subtly, you can add some cool additional movement to the picture. And if your goal is to get people to take notice of your Facebook post or what's on your website, then maybe you want it to be a little extreme like this, but without getting too crazy. So it's all done here in the animation points. And if you want to remove them, click on delete and click on here and it's gone. To bring it back in, just draw it in where you want it. And then you can just test it out always to see how that looks. See, we can even try, I can remove this point here and make it longer and see what happens with this top section. It might affect the face too much, but it's going to bring that glove forward a lot more. And actually, that looks pretty good. Wow. Well, I think I like this even more than my original. Right? So this is all experimentation, but you can see how amazing this product is. And I mean, if I finish it up, I might just redo this one just a little less, so it's not so over the top. But I like that a lot. I really do. And I'm going to save that because this is what the power of this software brings to the table. Really is phenomenal. Alright, so I hope this video helps you. If you have any questions about it and how to use maybe the other features or whatever, feel free to email us here. You can email me directly, ron@myherodesign.com, and I can kind of guide you through it because I'm pretty familiar with the software now. And so I'm here to help, and especially since you guys were kind enough to purchase through our link, and that's why we bring support to the table with the products that we promote, because you can usually get through to us a lot faster than the vendor because they might be getting a lot of tickets. So please never hesitate to take advantage of our support. Anyway, I want to thank you as always for watching, and have a great day.